question will be from the audience, and Mr. Renacci will be the first to respond to it. What single policy change is most important to restore our economy?
I believe that the single policy change that needs to be changed at the federal government level, is that what the question is?
I believe so. You have everything I have.
Okay, well, let's face it, the number one concern that most Americans have is our out-of-control spending. We need to put policies in place that where we can control the spending that's occurring today. You know, Congressman Pence has an idea which I believe very strongly in, and that is to cap the discretionary spending at 20%. That is the spending limit over the last 200 years. We are running today around 27%. In business, you need to be able to control your spending if you're going to grow. In business, you can't spend more than you're spending, more than you bring in. Today, we have a government that believes we could spend ourselves into prosperity, and I can tell you that just isn't going to happen. As a business owner, as a family, we all sit around the table and we have to spend within our means. And I think what we need to do is get the spending to a level where we all can understand that the spending limits are there, discretionary spending has to be capped, and we have to be able to live within a 20% of the GDP. That's a great starting point for us to tackle discretionary spending. And remember, that doesn't affect Social Security, that doesn't affect the military, that doesn't affect veterans' benefits.
The most important policy change that we have got to enact is enacting fair trade policy that work for American workers and American small businesses. You know, I just learned something last week that the Chinese, a state-owned Chinese steel company is coming in and trying to buy a mill in Mississippi. And the American Chamber of Commerce in China issued a statement and said that this was the right thing to do. There's a whole lot of national security concerns that come up with just something of that caliber. I signed a letter with 50 other legislators saying no, that we ought to look at this very closely. It's still a communist country, and we ought to be looking out for American businesses so that we grow it here, build it here, and assemble it here. America is always stronger. America is always stronger. Making sure that we have an energy policy that works for us so that we have a choice. When you roll into a fuel station one day and have a choice between biofuels, ethanol that was produced here in Wayne County, researched at ORADC, you plug in your electric hybrid, use traditional gasoline, or drive by the fuel station altogether because you have a fuel cell that allows you to get 100 miles to the gallon that was researched right here in our congressional district. That's the type of energy policy that makes sense. Unfortunately, it's being dogged by a bipartisan free market approach that would help curb emissions. You see, because Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Sarah Palin, and John McCain all campaigned on a free market approach that would put the free market in charge of helping curb emissions and provide innovation and creativity rather than the United States EPA one-size-fits-all. That system is called cap and trade. Check the facts out on our website. I'll tell you this. My opponents talk about spending. I don't shy away from the fact that I brought $1.3 million back here to the Ohio State Ag Research Center so that they can study infectious diseases and diseases as they relate to plant and animal. I'm not shying away from the fact that I was able to help Smith Dairy get $3.5 million so that they can expand and grow and secure a $20 million contract that's going to keep 369 jobs here in Wayne County. That's right. That's the right investment for America. It's the right investment for Wayne.